This morning, and today we have someone very interesting that I'd like to introduce to all of you, and he's the author of Platinum Award-winning book named A Funny Thing Happened on the Way to Enlightenment, and in fact he is the sort of humor leader, I would say, and a master trainer of Joyful Plus Leadership, which bring to corporations in the world about solutions related to humor, of course. And also he's a director of Gestalt Institute of Levity, where he offers all the courses and workshops over there. And as well, he's the laughter leader by the World Laughter Tour. So I'm sure you're laughing already, listening to this laughter tour. And people are talking about upgrading humor quotient. So do you want to have that upgraded today? And I remember when I asked him, how should I introduce him? He said, well, don't talk about Donald Duck. And then, how should I introduce him? He said, okay, someone said, okay, make sure you don't say his name wrongly. His name is called Lennon Ravich, not rubbish. Let's introduce Lennon.
Thank you. John, that was beautiful. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. First of all, thank you for coming and being here today. It's my pleasure to be here. And when you get to be my age, it's a pleasure to be anywhere. I would like to request that if someone receives a telephone call during my presentation, I want you to get the quiet and the respect that you need. So I would like everyone to respect that. If someone receives a phone call, I will stop the presentation so that you'll have enough time to finish your conversation. And then you come back to me and because I didn't come here today to cause you any trouble. And I want you to have a good time. So whatever happens, just receive your call and I'll stop. Oh, by the way, speaking of phones, does anybody here remember that we used to have telephones with cords? Do you have them in your office or home? Anybody? Yeah? Now they're a lot more fun because if you want to have a catharsis, you say to somebody, get out of my face. And you slam the phone down and you feel relief. And with the smartphone, it's get out of my face, and then you have to look for M. About 6 years ago, when I was a very, very young man, I was sitting in a restaurant in the hotel in Bangkok. And the waitress was taking my order, and at the end of her, when I finished giving her my order, she said to me, thank you, and she went to bring my food. And I know this doesn't look like much to you, but I was shocked. Because she said to me, thank you for taking the order, and I'm from Tel Aviv. And the only time a waiter or waitress would say thank you is if you give a very large tip. Or the most you can get from a waiter or waitress in Tel Aviv is something like, I'm doing you a favor by even talking to you. So when she said, I was curious, so when she came back, I said, may I ask you, is it the policy of the hotel to thank a customer for giving you his order? And she said, well, I was raised in a home where we were taught that to serve someone was to get closer to God. And you gave me the opportunity to get closer to God by asking me to serve you. So thank you. And I was there absorbing this, and I couldn't move. because actually she was giving us all confirmation about our purpose and mission in life, all of us. Isn't it to serve? Isn't it to support? Isn't it to help? Isn't it to improve people's lives just a little bit? Imagine going to work tomorrow with that kind of a mindset. I get to serve God today because I'm going to be making life better for my customers, my colleagues, my team. I know this sounds rather optimistic and unrealistic because we live in a world of a lot of corruption and greed. But in my experience in life, the most powerful life is a life of service. This is my personal experience. So I began to ask myself the question as I was walking down the street, if my purpose and mission in life is to serve, then I want to know what people need. We were talking about that just a few minutes ago about in selling, finding out what people need. And so I was asking myself, what is it that people value most? And I began to write emails and ask family and friends, even people on the plane. I was talking to the stewardess and I asked her, what do you value in your life? What do you think was the most common answer from the people I spoke to when I said, what is most valuable in your life? What do you need the most in your life? What do you think the answer was, the most common answer?
Family.
Hmm?
Family.
Family?
Love.
Love?
Happiness?
Happiness? What is your name again?
Jamie.
Jamie? Jamie, if I have family and I have love, then I will be
Happy.
happy. If you look at everything that we want in life, in the end it brings us to a bottom line, which is happiness. Everybody wants to be happy, and I asked myself, silly question, why? Why do we want to be happy? So I asked my friend Jack Whitaker, and he said, well, I've been miserable, and I've been happy. I prefer happy. And I said, of course, you don't have to be a rocket scientist to know that happiness feels good, but if you go into the research, and there's plenty of it on the web, you find people like Dr. Bernie Siegel, in his book, Love, Medicine, and Miracles, states that generally speaking, people who are happy don't get sick. Okay, Martin Seligman, who is the founder of positive psychology and the author of Authentic Happiness, says workers, people who are at work who are happy, score better on their performance evaluations and receive higher pay. And then Nobel Peace Prize winner Albert Schweitzer said, happiness leads to success. So I'm getting something here, and I want you to stay with me because I'm on a journey here. And I'm finding out that, okay, family, love, but take the word happiness and you have equals good health, peak performance, higher pay, success. So I wanted to find out what makes people happy at work. First of all, how many people here are parents? Okay, how many people here used to be children of parents? Got you there, didn't I? If you ask a parent, what do you want for your child the most? What would you want for your child? I want them to be happy. I mean, happiness even appears in the United States Constitution as the right of the people to pursue happiness. John Lennon, do you remember John Lennon? When he was in school, they asked him, what do you want to be when you grow up? And he said, I want to be happy. So the school official said he didn't understand the question. John Lennon later in life said the school officials didn't understand life. So what makes us happy at work? Okay, there's happy, family, love. What makes us happy at work? Anybody? Yes?
Happy.
Yes, but what is it that at work that makes us happy?
Being appreciated. For
Being
what
appreciated.
for what you have done.
Being appreciated, getting recognition,
Yeah.
you know. So if we get recognition, we're happy. What else?
Feeling like you're doing something meaningful.
Doing something meaningful, contributing. Okay, what else?
Success.
Eh?
Success.
Success, you succeed. Now I have a little secret for you. If you get the success and you get the recognition and you get the meaning, something happens, and I want to just tell you that there was a research done. Now, I'm going to give you a scenario. Let's say 1 year ago, the 1st of November 2011, a woman won 10 million euro in the lottery. At that same day, a man had a terrible car accident and lost the use of both legs. After 1 year today, it is now November the 1st, 2012, who is happier? The woman who won 10 million or the man who is paralyzed from the waist down?
Man.
Go for it. What? What do you think? The man? No legs, paraplegic, happy? The answer is, according to Dan Gilbert in his research in a book called Stumbling on Happiness, after 1 year, they're both at the same happiness level. Yes, the man did suffer depression and despondency, and the woman was elated, but after time, there's a thing that says something about time heals all wounds, the depression disappears and the happiness level goes up, and the happy person, the levels go down, so they're at the same level. So even if you get that recognition, even if you get that meaning, even if you get all those things that you just now mentioned about work, and also having a date with Margaret,
Joe.
Margaret
Chun- Chun-
Maggie Joe.
your happiness levels fall. My next question is, I'm on a journey. I got to find this out. Is there something that keeps us permanently happy, or at least long-lasting happiness at work?
You share your happiness with your coworkers.
Was that?
You are able to share the happiness with your coworkers.
Happiness is co-workers?
Yeah, everybody's
Share.
happy. Share. You are able to share.
A shirt.
Share it.
Oh, sharing.
Yeah.
Sharing. Everybody's happy sharing.
Make other people happy.
Make someone happy.
Wow.
Don't start. Don't get me started. Make someone happy. I can get stuck into Dean Martin anytime. You know. I went, so that brought me to study psychology. I went to study psychology because I'm on a roll now. I got to find out if there is a permanent way to stay happy at work. So psychology, sociology, philosophy, religion, and I come across positive psychology. Have you heard about positive psychology? It's the study of well-being. Okay, conventional psychology concentrates on what's wrong with our lives and tries to find a solution. And positive psychology concentrates on what's going right with our lives and emphasizes that. Now I'm going to ask you a question, but I don't really expect you to answer because you'll never know. The one subject that is hardly ever mentioned in any of the studies that I've done, whether it be psychology or whether it be philosophy or sociology, there's one subject that's hardly ever mentioned. What do you think that is? The subject of humor. Humor is hardly mentioned, and humor is so powerful when it comes to positive feelings. As a matter of fact, I studied and found out that the way we feel, and you know this already, I think, and the way we think influences the chemistry in our bodies. If you're having a stressful day and you're feeling anxiety or you're having any frustration, your body will secrete a chemical called cortisol, C-O-R-T-I-S-O-L. It's a poison. And enough days of stress, enough days of this, going around, and you could end up with a disease called stress-related illnesses. How can that be? She ate a perfect diet, she jogged, she never smoked, never drank. We were talking about that, you know. And she's ending up in the hospital at the age of 48, 50 with all kinds of doctors running around. And what happened? They can't explain it. Stress-related illnesses. Now, a person who has a humorous attitude, his body secretes endorphins. Endorphins are a painkiller. It releases stress, it lowers stress, it relaxes us, it even protects our immune system, keeping us healthy. Now, what is a humorous attitude? Does that mean I come in and I tell a joke to my co-workers and everybody's happy? No, that's not it. It's not being funny. A humorous person is not a funny person. A humorous person is a person who can take any situation that's stressful and flip it around. Let me give you an example, and then I'll go into it a little bit deeper. I was having dinner with my son. His name is Nati, and he's 45 years old, and he's married. He has 2 children, and he's very busy. And to get to sit with him and talk and have a meal is a very precious time for both of us. And suddenly, during the conversation, he gets a telephone call, and he indicates to me that he's got to talk on the phone, so he takes the phone, and he disappears from me. May I ask you how many people here have had that happen? You're talking with someone and they receive a phone call, a text message, and they stop talking to you. Does it happen to you? Just about everybody. Except the liars at the back. Now you're not a liar, you're just tired, lazy. You want to raise your hand. How many people here are really, sincerely, when that happens, you have a little stress, a little frustration? Yeah, that's your cortisol. Well, that's your cortisol. What I did was, now the humorous is not being funny, it's just finding something funny in the situation. And I picked up my phone and called his number. And his phone rang. And he answered it. He said, hello? I said, hi. He said, it's you? Why are you calling me on my phone? I'm right here. And I smiled. And I said, because I want to talk to you. He got the message. The message is not a stressful one. It's what I need from you, but in a very light manner. And there's no blame or shame. There's just, hey, I'm here. I want to talk to you. And then his phone did ring. And I saw it light up, and he wouldn't answer it after that. Not because he was upset, not because I upset him. It's because it was such a lovely message in a lovely way. Now, humor has really helped me in my life overcome a lot of strain. And I am thinking also about Mahatma Gandhi. Is there anybody here who's never heard of Mahatma Gandhi? Who said, without a humorous perspective, I would have committed suicide a long time ago, so they killed him. And then there was a man by the name of Viktor Frankl, who wrote a book called Man's Search for Meaning. He was in the Nazi death camp. And he survived to tell us his message, which is, humor helped me to transcend the horrible reality that was going on in front of my very eyes. And then Adrian Gostick and Scott Christopher wrote a book called The Levity Effect, where they say managers who have a humorous attitude benefit from higher employee engagement. Now, this is really what is the theme today about the losing of money because of loss of employee engagement. Here, humor engages people more. So what I would like to do right now is just raise your awareness to 5 tools of how humor can make it more joyful, permanently joyful workplace. You don't have to do anything, just relax, sit back. However, if you decide to choose one of the 5 tools, and you begin to work on it immediately. Notice the way you feel, notice the way you behave, notice the way you wear your hat, the way you drink your tea, the memory of all that. Could you play the violin the way I sing? Oh no, they can't. That'll wake you up, anybody who's been sleeping up until now. So if you're willing to take, who's willing to take one tool from the 5 and take it back? You could resonate with, let's say you like number 2, you like number 3, whatever. Who's willing to do that? Just take one tool out of the 5. Raise your hand. Yeah, you want to do that?
Why not?
Why not? Okay. How are we doing for time? Okay, I gotta go, sorry. The first tool is learn to laugh at yourself and breathe. Laughing at ourselves is probably the highest form of humor. It tells everybody, I'm not perfect. I'm just like you. I'm imperfect, and I accept myself, and you, and you, and you. It doesn't mean you put yourself down. It means you take your job seriously, but you take yourself lightly. I'll give you an example of how it happened in my life. I was a young man growing up in the United States, and I had a dream. I wanted to be a radio and television announcer. You know what that is? That's the one who sits in front of the TV at night and gives the news. Oh, that was my dream. So I went to a broadcasting school, and they taught us how to speak like an American announcer. And all day long you had to practice saying something like, and now, back to our show, The Flying Chicken. And you get into this voice, and you can't get out. You know, you practice so much, I go to a party, hello John, how are you? How's your family? Worst case scenario, I go home, I say to my wife, hello darling, how about a hug? It's getting ridiculous. Finally got a job at WAPI TV, Channel 13, Birmingham, Alabama. Anybody who doesn't know where Birmingham is, you know where it is. Yes. It's in the south of the United States. It's, you know, there's Florida, and then you have Georgia, Alabama, I think it's Mississippi, and then after that Louisiana, and then you go to hell. And I remember sitting in front of the camera 8 o'clock in the evening. I was so happy, so excited to give my first night, to give the news. And so that you're sitting in the studio, it's 8 o'clock, and the lights come down in the studio, and a light goes up on the camera, a red light. And then there's this woman with earphones, and she goes like this to me, and that means that you're on the air, and I hear the broadcasting music, da 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 da. And I look into the camera and I say with a big smile, good evening, and you know, the voice, and here is the news, read to you by Ravich, Washington. And I would give the news. I was so happy. Next day I got to work. Surprise! I'm getting letters, mail, telephone calls. People want to speak to Leonard Garbage. I said, Leonard Ravich, they're hearing garbage. I'm getting mail. People want to write to Leonard Rubbish. Rabbit. I even got one mail, Ravish, R-A-V-I-S-H. I looked it up, it means to rape and pillage. I'm innocent of all wrongdoing. Now you talk about cortisol levels, I'm humiliated, I can't even go to the supermarket now. Okay, I'm really suffering from cortisol. How do I know? Headache, I can't sleep at night. That's what cortisol will do to you, it keeps you up. Only around like 3:30 in the morning, I came with an answer that made me relax. I said, okay, I got to change my name. I'll keep the Leonard part. I like Leonard, but I got to change the garbage part. You know? So I thought of something with an R. So, and I thought maybe Reynolds, Leonard Reynolds, nah, that sounds too Irish with this nose. Okay. Leonard Roberts. Suddenly, about 4:30 in the morning, I get it. Leonard Raymond. Raymond, that's so cool. What's your name? Leonard Raymond? So I go to the studio the next day and I say, I'm not Leonard Ravich anymore, I'm Leonard Raymond. Everybody looked up to the heavens and said, thank God. Got on the show. Okay, now it's 8 o'clock, lights come down in the studio. Light comes up on the camera. Woman with earphones goes like this to me, and I hear in the background, da 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 da. And it happened exactly like this. I looked into the camera, and with my broadcasting voice, I said, good evening, and here is the news read to you by Leonard I became the first radio and television announcer in the history of the United States to forget his name during a live broadcast. But since it is airtime, you have to be very, very spontaneous. You can't wait. It's a lot of money. So I looked at the camera and I said, I forgot my name, but here's the news. Washington. And I went on to give the news. So wait a minute, we're laughing. But are you laughing at me? No, we're laughing together. Okay, you're laughing with me. When you laugh at yourself, you suddenly bring people closer to you. You know the word intimacy? This is my interpretation of intimacy, into-me-see. Real humor, self-humor, is an opportunity to see into me. For me to see into you and bring us closer. And it's a wonderful, strong way to remember how you want to start your day laughing at yourself. Now, I want you to do something for me right now so that you remember this, and I want you to take this with you always. I want you to raise your index finger. I want you to point it here. And I want you to do this. Now, we're going to be laughing at ourselves in about 10 seconds. If you feel uncomfortable, that's a good sign. Because when you feel uncomfortable, it means you're leaving your safety zone and you're learning something. So if you say, I feel like an idiot, well, you either probably are, or you're learning something new. Take your choice. Smile. I want to see your teeth. Can I see one of these teeth? I don't see your teeth, darling. Your teeth, my dear.
No.
That's your gums. I want to see your teeth. Now, together with me, when I count to 3, you go very, very, very gently. 1, 2, 3, and. Now take imaginary flour in between your fingers, put it next to your nose, and take a deep, 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 deep breath. And let out a sound. Ah. Put the flour back. Ah. Beautiful, beautiful. Now, I want you to take a partner, somebody you're sitting next to. I'll give you 10 seconds to find a partner and introduce yourself and tell them your name, and after 10 seconds, that'll be your partner for the next minute. So, go, look for a partner. Introduce yourself. Okay, is there anybody here who does not have a partner? Raise your hand. Who does not have a partner? Okay, you have a partner? You have?
Yes.
You don't have? You have a partner? Okay, I'll be your partner. Be my partner. What is your name? What is your name? Again?
Like Santa Claus.
Santa Claus.
Klaus, Klaus, how are you? Okay, how are you?
Hi, I'm good.
What is your name?
Eddie.
Eddie, how do you doing, Eddie?
Good.
Good. Sit down, have a chair. Would you like a massage?
Yeah.
Is that good?
No.
I hate you, I hate you. Okay, you'll be my partner.
Okay.
And everybody, look at your partner. And put your finger here. And smile. Now you're going to laugh for like 15 seconds with your partner at yourself. Laugh at yourself when I count to 3. 1, 2, 3, and. Okay, take the flower and put it on your nose. Make a sound. Go ahead. Thank you, Klaus. Nice round of applause, everybody. Could I ask you if, I'm not going to ask this of Eddie, I want to ask you, anybody here feel anything different from the time you came here till now? Do you feel anything different? Yes?
Relaxed. Yes.
You are, what's your name?
Elaine.
Elaine, you feel more?
Relaxed.
More relaxed, okay. Anybody else?
I'm happy.
Your name is?
Deborah.
Deborah, and you feel happier? Yeah?
Happy.
Happy and relaxed, okay. What about the men? They don't feel anything? Don't ever Men generally don't feel. Did you know that?
I'm out of breath.
You're out of breath. Well, so am I. Okay, so can you imagine starting every day knowing that you have the ability to laugh at yourself and breathe? And if you don't do it with a situation that happens, at least as you're driving to work, you could do this. You're in a traffic jam. You're getting tense and all kinds of. Well, all you do is just take hold of the steering wheel. Okay, everybody, grab the steering wheel. Grab the steering wheel. Put your hand here, your finger, one finger here. And as you're driving, don't look around because people will be staring at you. And you do this. And then you take your flower and put it under your nose. Make sure you're watching what's going on the road. And even before you get to work, you've got yourself more relaxed and happier. Okay? So let's have a nice round of applause. So, number 1 is laugh at yourself and breathe. It's a very powerful way to live. To know that you can always laugh at any mistakes you make, any blunders, dumb decisions, guilt at not living up to other people's expectations. You will find that if you can laugh at those things, you'll be a healthier, happier, stronger person. Number 2, anybody ever hear a name? A person by the name of, what's his name? Steve Jobs. Has anybody ever heard of Steve Jobs? Okay. What was he known for? Come on, I want to make sure you know who this guy is.
Perfection.
Protection.
Perfection.
Perfection.
Perfection, yes.
Wow. I never thought about it that way. That's interesting. What else was he known for? iPhone? iPad? Apple? Does anybody remember his last 2 sentences? In 2005, he spoke to the graduating class of Stanford University. You remember his last 2 sentences, Hans?
Yeah. Stay hungry, stay foolish.
Stay hungry, stay foolish.
Yes.
Okay, now listen. All of our lives we were told by our parents, by our teachers, be serious. You will not succeed if you're not serious. Along comes the guru of innovation of our era and says, be foolish. Stay hungry. What does that mean? Mean stay hungry. I have all this food here. No. Stay hungry for knowledge, curiosity. Stay foolish. Take a chance. Take a risk. Because if you don't, you'll never come up with something that's worthwhile if you're afraid you're going to be called a fool. Can you imagine a person coming up to you and saying, I got an idea. And what? I got this thing, pad, you touch it, and all of a sudden it opens up. And you get all these things like email and stuff. What are you, a fool? That's the fear we have. How many times have we had an idea and you were afraid that people were going to look at you and say, that's stupid? And he says, be stupid. It's the only way you're going to get it done. Let me give you an example. May I give you an example right now? You're going to see it real time. How many people here speak a language other than English and Hebrew? What do you speak?
Danish.
Which?
Danish.
Danish. Okay. And your name is Johan.
Jorgen.
Jorgen. Jorgen, would you do me a favor, please? And come up here. Thank you very much. Jorgen. A nice round of applause for Jorgen. I'm going to give you the microphone. Because, can you hear me?
Yes, you got that enough.
Oh, I have another one. Oh my God. Oh, I forgot Hong Kong. I thought it was.
Stay foolish.
Oh, stay foolish. How you doing?
Fine, thank you. Yourself?
Great. You live in Hong Kong?
I do.
What's your passion in life?
I got many. My wife, for instance. My kids, for instance. My sailing, for instance. My colleagues, for instance.
Wow, you got a lot of passions.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you to do something, and it's going to be foolish. But we have to see if Steve Jobs was right, and what happens when we become foolish. I want you to play a role. You're going to be my manager at work. You're not satisfied with my results. You invite me into your office, and you want to give me some guidance, but pretty strict, in Danish.
Okay.
Now, why Danish? Because I don't know Danish. But I'm going to be a fool. And I'm going to speak Danish that doesn't exist. It's called a gibberish Danish or a foolish Danish. To show you that I'm going to be taking a risk and I don't care. And you're going to, somehow, during this foolishness, there is a moment of empathy where you understand me. And I understand you. Or at least we make believe we do. You make believe you understand me. I make believe I understand you, like me and my wife. So I come into your office, and we're going to do this in Danish. I don't know Danish, but somehow we will communicate just by my being foolish. Act 1, scene 1, take 1.
Så Lenny, det du lige har gjort, er overhovedet ikke acceptabelt. Jeg vil sige dig, hvis du gør det en gang til, så er du her ikke længere. Forstår du det? Så hvis du bliver ved på den der måde, ikke? Så kan jeg ikke engang fortsætte med det, jeg siger til dig. Ja, det kan jeg måske forstå, men på den anden side, jeg synes ikke, at du har forstået det.
Io si portasse in libro per lei, di libri, sempre di tempo. Ma ci vuole si vedere il fondo di altro, lui di dire.
Der kan du selv se, du har overhovedet ikke forstået det.
Ja, det er svært at forstå. Jeg skal gå se, hvad der var slivet, eller hvad har det det, eller bare det der. Så hvor skal det være?
Ja, selvfølgelig, det giver sig selv. Men prøv nu at gå tilbage og gøre det ordentligt en anden gang, ikke?
Sig på det måde.
Get out of here!
Ja, det er det. Let's round of applause. Just a moment, I want to give you a gift.
But your Danish is pretty good.
Yes.
Yeah, you can tell.
So this is your
J-O-R.
J-O-R.
G-E-N.
G-E-N. Okay, I wrote here to Jorgen Dance Life. This is yours.
Thanks so much.
My pleasure. One other thing.
What did you tell me?
One other thing that you don't know about Jorgen that I want to tell you that you'll really never forget, because he'll never tell you. Jorgen was in once a very cruel race, the worst cruel race that nature has ever provided, and he won. He was in the great sperm race. There were millions of sperm all trying to get to that same one egg, but Jorgen wouldn't give up because only the finest, strongest, fastest get to the egg first. Sorry that so many of your brothers and sisters died along the way. I dare you to be foolish and put this on your car. It says, "I won the sperm race." I gave this to my daughter, by the way. She put it on her car. Somebody drove by, looked at her and said, "Pity." Thank you.
Thanks so much.
All right. Go back, yeah. To the, yeah, look, we saw that how foolish. What happened? We took risks. What happened? We became playful. What happened? Creativity. Do you think that iPad could have been born if it weren't playful and taking a risk and being creative? That's where our creativity comes from. Not from the seriousness. Seriousness means doing the best job you can, but how long do I have? How much time do I have?
Forever.
20
minutes. 20 minutes.
20 minutes? Okay. Let me do this in the time that we have left. Oh my goodness, where? I want to talk to you in gibberish. I'm going to take a chance if you don't want to. Raise your hand like this. It means I don't want to, and I'll go to somebody else. Okay? Take this. Take this. What is it?
I want to try your Cantonese. I want to listen to your Cantonese.
You want to hear my Cantonese?
You speak so well in
okay,
your
okay, so you be my daughter. You're asking me for some money. Cantonese.
好啊。 I'm your daughter.
You're my daughter, and you're gonna ask me.
Daddy, 俾啲錢我啊。
我做玩你睇真啊！
我想買嘢玩。
有啊有啊，就係情人節。
多謝你。
你咋？嗱，啲就。
求其幾百萬夠用。
我賺錢，我賺錢。